What is going on, everybody? For those who don't know, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast live stream call-in show. If you're new to the channel and watching this on the rerun, make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. And next time, hopefully you can join the call-in or the live stream. But what's going on, everybody in the chat? We got a lot of people in here, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I really wanted to drop the video I dropped at 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday when the reports started coming out about Doug Pederson's job not being safe. I just felt that was a huge sign for Doug Pederson not lasting this week. We heard reports that the Tuesday meeting last week did not go well, and that the meeting that was going to happen early in this week would determine the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Pederson was asked, how are you going to turn this team around, by Jeff Lurie, and he offered Press Taylor as the offensive coordinator, Andrew Briner, who was the passing game analyst, as the quarterback coach. He offered Matt Burke or DB coach of last year, 2 years ago, Cody Underlin, who has the Lions defense ranked 32 overall in the NFL, as the defensive coordinator. And I mean, Lurie said, come on. Where's your outside sources? What are you going to do to get new eyes on the scene? What are you going to do about that? I don't think he was forcing him to pick certain individuals, but wanted him to branch out, and Doug was unwilling to do that. I honestly think that after they both talked, they have mutual respect, and they were able to part ways on a good note. Has Doug Pederson been a bad offensive coordinator and head coach last year? Yes. Mismanaging the team in multitude of ways. Bad play calling, horrible situation football, and at the end, he kind of started losing respect from the players. I wanted to lose, but not the way he did it. You should have benched the players from the beginning. It was too much miscommunication from the top to the bottom, and I do blame Howie Roseman. As much as Doug Pederson wanted to come back, I think he had it up to here with Howie Roseman micromanaging Doug Pederson. So that, to me, is going to be a problem for whoever we bring in. Yes, we can offer a guy to call plays alongside of an offensive coordinator and be the head coach, but can we offer somebody the full job and not be a puppet to Howie Roseman? So we're going to get into all that. I just wanted to get my piece out on my reaction before I get to your comments. Again, shout out to the true ones in here. Dave Does, Hawk 215, Ismail, The Word of Paul, Kara Poole, Annabelle B, Landon Hills, Eagle Clips, Marquise Graham, Ethan Wagner, Aaron, Patrick, Reef Taco, Fire Across Your Lips, Amanda. Shout out to everybody who came in earlier. If I didn't call you, we will be getting to a lot of comments in the chat, and we will be doing a live call-in in a little bit. But real quick, again, Doug Pederson will become a head coach sooner rather than later. His resume is still good. What Doug failed to do is manage this team in critical situations, where I believe in 2017, he had a staff that was built to do that. Carson Wentz regressing, DeFilippo helped it out. Needing a crucial call late in the game or an adjustment made on offense because we were strong in the first half but weak in the second half, him and Frank Wright were able to talk about that. He hasn't had that since Frank Wright and DeFilippo has been in here, and that's partly to blame Doug Pederson for being lazy and not having his name out there where people on the outside say, you know what, I would like to work with Doug Pederson. You know what, I would like to work with Doug Pederson. He was too much in-house promotions. There was never any, you know what, let's go out and get this guy because I like what he can do. Real quick, shout out to my guy CW Gearhead with the 50. I repeat, $50 super chat. Doug's out. Time to wipe sweat off the brow. But yes, Howie has a hand in this as well. Hopefully we can get a group of people around who want to build around Wentz, or whoever is going to be our quarterback. And hopefully this head coach run the dang ball. Facts. I think you have to run the ball. It's what keeps an offense balanced. We didn't like Mike Groh, but think about that year. Green Bay, we ran the ball, we won. Buffalo, we ran the ball, we won. The Bears, we ran the ball and we won. So we won. We just got to be more balanced. And I believe that Doug Pederson was offering guys that were guys that he can just count on from what we have here. But that is not going to get it better. But at the end of the day, I think Jeff Lurie said, we can't do this, Doug. Doug, I need you to venture out and get people outside the organization. And I think Doug held his ground and said, look, I can't run it my way with Howie Roseman there. I believe for the longest time, there's been a dysfunction between them two. And listen, Howie Roseman made this cap bad, but Howie Roseman is starting to fix this cap up in ways that I didn't think he was going to be able to. And he should be here to fix the cap, but that's it. He needs to lose the control he has. Jeff Lurie has to make it clear to Howie Roseman, whoever I hire as head coach is the head coach of this team. You acquire the talent and he plays and he moves and he does what he wants with the talent you acquire. But again, shout out to the real ones in here. I see everybody coming in. I just wanted to quickly give my take for people who rewatch this, and then we're going to get to all the comments. Shout out to all 109 people in here. If you haven't done it, make sure you smash that like button. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. We got videos, call-ins, and regular podcasts coming up. Kara posted, you better have some dank. You better have some dank. I hear you. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be dropping the link in the chat in a little bit so you guys can get in here. But let's get to some of these questions first. Again, I think it was inevitable that this had to happen, but I do think Doug will bounce back, just not with the Eagles. Again, if you want your comment read, just re-comment it. I'm not going to go all the way back up. But again, shout out to everybody in the building. He said, peace, my dude. How come all these clowns come to Philly, but Deuce Staley never gets a head coach and or offensive coordinator status? I agree. Listen, Deuce Staley is very good at his job, and his job is the rotations to the running back. I think he also handles a lot of inner beef, not inner beef, but just being able to control the people. A lot of the players have a lot of respect for Deuce because he's been around so long, being a former player for the Eagles, knowing what he put in. But again, I agree. You give him titles to keep him satisfied without really ever letting him move up. Because let's remember, Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach, is actually the running game coordinator. What Deuce is asked to do is pick the rotation and pretty much work with the guys. And he also assists Doug's on probably lackadaisical things. But yes, Deuce eventually is going to leave this organization for a better opportunity. I just don't know what's going to happen. Dave Dustin with the 6th pick. Please get Wentz a number 1 wide receiver. We're going to talk about that. We're going to have a Jamar Chase versus Devontae Smith video coming out. We also going to have a Patrick Surtain versus Caleb Farley video coming out. Duncan Robinson said, Doug went from leading the Eagles to Super Bowl to leading them to 4-11-1. Facts. Ayo, Mike, the name is one on delay. By the way, brother. Mike, the name is on delay. On delay. Shout out to you, my guy. Philly Fan Day says, I was in school when I heard. I went to the bathroom and yelled, let's go. Wild. Eric, the enemy, as head coach for the Eagles. Eric Bieniemy is a top candidate. And that's what I said. Listen, I dropped a video at 8 a.m. saying everything that the reports were talking about, my take on it. I gave my take in the video this morning. And again, I recorded it late last night, but I didn't want to put it on at 12 o'clock at night or put it on in the morning. Again, I was at a family function yesterday, but I said this: too much buildup animosity between Howie and Doug. And Doug, if you can get Doug a good staff, I believe he can coach. But when you asking him to pick his own staff because he doesn't have the connections outside, it just wasn't inevitable that he was going to keep promoting people that don't deserve it. And it had to happen. It had to happen. He's probably going to have success somewhere else. I'm not talking Super Bowl success or anything like that. But listen, the guy is a capable guy. But once you start breaking that, and we can't forget, there's people who really don't want to move on with Carson Wentz, and there's people who want to move on with Carson Wentz. And that was probably part of the whole decision as well. If Eric Bieniemy gets hired, Howie Roseman needs to go. I hope he gets information from Pederson. Facts. You never cash at me, my guy. Comment and I got you. I got you then, my guy. I thought I did. If I didn't, I got you. No doubt about it. Deuce deserves a shot. I agree. Deuce, listen, again, the Eagles are always primed to act like they're going to show Deuce the time of day. I believe he does deserve a shot. But again, at the end of the day, I don't work for the Eagles. I can only say what I believe. They just been really set in their ways with promoting people that shouldn't be promoted. Deuce Staley showed that the job you gave him, he was able to do at a high level. Now, can I say Deuce can do more? I'm not sure, but he definitely deserves a shot before other people on this team. Wentz over Pederson, that's what I believe they went to. Keep Deuce as running back coach. Eric B. first choice. Jason Garrett second choice. Carson Wentz is staying. Doug Pederson got canned. Rome one more in the building, so we need Robert Salem to fix the defense and bring energy. Hey, the defense is much needed as well, because remember, now if you get an offensive coordinator in here, if you get the head coach being Eric Bieniemy, who made his living, who came up through the offensive system, you got to get someone that you feel comfortable that can run the defense without a help of a head coach if needed. Merciless says, I mean, his situational play call wasn't good, but I thank him for the Super Bowl, and this is apparently increases Wentz chances to stay, so I'm happy. Facts. Let me just say this. I'm going to read to you guys what Doug Pederson said. This is Doug Pederson's statement. I'm going to read this real quick, and then we're going to go. It has been an absolute honor serving as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. As difficult as it may be to say goodbye, I will always look back at the time here with appreciation and respect. Thank you to Jeffrey Lurie for the opportunity, and Howie Roseman and Don for the partnership and support over the last 5 seasons. To all of our coaches, players, and staff, thank you for believing in me and allowing me to lead us to the journey, on this journey. These memories we made here together will always be and have a special place in my heart. To the city of Philadelphia, thank you for embracing me and this team. I truly appreciate the passion you bring every single day, at home, on the road, and in the community. No matter what, you are always right there with us. Although I am disappointed that this chapter of my career has come to an end, I'm extremely proud of what we have accomplished together. Though through all the ups and downs, one thing remained constant about our team: an unwavering commitment to battle through adversity and to achieve our goals, not as individuals, but as a collective unit. There is no better example of that than when we celebrated our first Super Bowl championship in Eagles history together with our city. That is a memory that I will cherish forever. Doug Pederson. So again, no matter what, bringing a championship to the city will always be memorable. And that's why I can never say I would have took Nick Foles over Carson Wentz. But at the end of the day, you got to appreciate what we got from the people in the uniform at that time. But again, 4-11-1, not being able to agree with your GM. And here's the thing. Howie Roseman has now survived 3 coaches, and he's going on his 4th coach. Howie Roseman was here with Andy Reid. Howie Roseman was here with Chip Kelly. Howie Roseman was here with Doug Pederson, and now Howie Roseman will be here with whoever else is next. Philly Tress says, I figured he was going to go after he lost a team pulling Hurts. That was a big thing, I think. I think that really did play into it in the sense of anybody speaking up for him. Todd Bowles is a terrible head coach. Yeah, he's a defensive coordinator. Deuce has been under Doug for 3 years. He deserves a shot. Hey, I agree. What up, man? This is crazy. Facts. Look, shout out to my guy Vic 3 in the building, channel member in the building. If you want to check out channel memberships, check out the description. Let me know what you think. Doug was tired of being a lackey. Again, that's another thing. As much as I discredit Doug for the play calling, situational decision making, his press conference just made you think that the guy was a little slow. Again, he's a leader of men, and we rallied behind him for a Super Bowl. But when you hear this guy talk at the press conference, when you see him not be able to change it up and adjust, when you see him just ignore the run, these are things that you can't deny was making our team worse. But at the same time, he had a guy in Howie Roseman who tried to do everything and anything to belittle the head coach. If you hire a guy to run your business, Let him run the business the way he wants to. That's what you're paying him to do. If you don't like it, well, then go a different way. And that's what happened. But I do believe it was a mutual type way. Shut up, Doug. Bye, Eagles. Bye. I thank Doug Pederson for the NFC East and NFC Championship and Super Bowl 52. I wish Doug the best wherever he goes at in the NFC or AFC. The top team is the Jets for Doug Pederson. Well, yeah, you got Joe Douglas there, a guy who knows him. Philly Mike to go. Hey, shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you. What's the hashtag? Solo Bolo in the building said, who's next? Listen, I think Howie Roseman is safe. As much as I don't want to say he's safe, it's just what I think. Howie Roseman and Jeff Lurie have been together too long. He survived now going. This will be his third coach. He survived going on his fourth coach. But again, if you're looking at what is coming out off beat reporters, of course, Eric Bieniemy, a top candidate. Joe Brady, a guy who came from college, and I believe he's the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. Joe Brady. He's supposed to have an innovative mind, but when you look at Eric Bieniemy, you got every team wanting him, from the Jets and the Falcons and the Jags. These guys all interviewed him, and we're already a day late when it comes to that. Let's get to some of these comments, and then I'm going to drop the link. Howie's the problem. Shout out to you. I agree. Anyone but Deuce, no former Eagles, please stop trying to get back together. I'm also a person that, listen, it's not about me not liking Deuce. It's about that I don't want the same eyes on the situation. Even though I believe part of the problem was running the ball and Deuce would run it, still same eyes. Lincoln Riley, we'll have to talk about it. We'll have to see what his options are. I swear. Oh, wow. I swear to God, Doug was losing on purpose with his static offense and offense in the first 12 games. I mean, listen, there's a lot of people out there that say that Doug didn't want to be here. You know, who knows? This is absolutely no reason for Howie to stay. I agree. The only thing that I can think of for Howie to stay is he thinks he has a plan to get us out of this cap situation. But at the end of the day, he cannot evaluate talent. He's put us in this problem by, again, prolonging the situation and believing in guys who were older, thinking that he can get this last contract out of Alshon Jeffrey, out of a Jason Peters, out of a Deshaun Jackson. But again, it comes down to just knowing that it's over. And Howie Roseman, for some reason, he survived Andy Reid, who now won a Super Bowl, survived Chip Kelly, survived Doug Pederson. And will he have his hands on the new coach? That's a problem. Good news from my New York Giants. Jets fan here. I don't want Doug Pederson on the team. Facts. Howie ain't going nowhere. Hurts traded is next. Shout out to my guy CW Gearhead with another $25 super chat. He said, I still believe in Wentz. If we can get a guy to work on Wentz strengths, i.e. roll out and get him moving, think Wentz will still do well. But at the end of the day, I back the Eagles, win, lose, or tie. I'm an Eagles fan until I die. Bleed green. Yes, I believe Wentz had something to do with the decision-making on Doug, or even he got brought up in talks and Doug just thinks that maybe he can't get it done with him, with Howie, and with the staff that they want to provide. So I think it was more of a mutual part than just Doug saying, I really want the job, and them firing him. A lot of people want Eric Bieniemy. Kevin Bacon said nobody's going to want to work with Roseman. That is part of the problem. They're passing up on Eric B. They just hired Urban Meyers with the Jags. Oh, so Urban Meyers just got hired with the Jags. Again, I didn't see that. Right there. That was a landing spot for Eric B. So that could be beneficial if we want him. Jeff is speaking in 5 minutes. Oh, man, I'm going to have to get up off here soon and see that. Star Little Kid says, so glad he's gone. Just has to be right, the right amount. I hear you. You already know. Doug has one bad year. Here's my take on it. It was one bad year, a really bad year. But the years prior, we made the playoffs. But you got to look at context. We didn't make the playoffs, winning the division a good division. We didn't make the playoffs as a wild card, as our division was so good. We got in as a 10-6 wild card. They were both 9-win seasons. And again, you got to just look at the fact that how the team has responded to him the last game, and the fact that, listen, I don't agree with it. I believe if you had to get somebody out of here first, it should be Howie Roseman. Should have got Howie Roseman out, gave Doug a decent staff. Doug would have had to work with it. Doug can't just say, I want Press Taylor, because I'm totally against that. But I think you could have gave Doug one more chance with an OC in here. But again, if Doug says no OC, then it was no more Doug Pederson. You got to face the music and understand that you are able to lead this team, but not the way you want to, I guess. It comes down to Howie Rose. Look, that these three people did not get along at the end. When it came to the end, maybe they were able to put up with each other throughout the majority of this, but Doug, Howie, and Carson, these three. Now, one of them had to go for sure. Maybe two of them got to go. I don't know. But these three couldn't be together. And so this is Jeff Lurie's decision. And I also believe it wasn't fully Jeff Lurie's decision. Again, if you don't like Doug, you fire him off the grip. Jeff Lurie gave Doug Pederson every opportunity to save face. And what he was pretty much saying at the end is, hire your staff outside the organization and we can keep you as a head coach. Listen, at the end of the day, if you want to put it in black and white context, what I really believe happened, Tuesday, Doug Pederson wanted to promote a lot of people within the Eagles organization. Andrew Briner, Press Taylor, and Matt Burke. Three people who were here last year, he wanted to turn to the OC, the quarterback coach, and the defensive coordinator. Lurie said, it didn't work with them here. You changing their job titles ain't going to make it any better. Look outside. Use your connections. You can find a quarterback coach that you can upgrade to OC. You can find an OC that you can, you can do that. You can find a guy in the league who knows offense and upgrade him to offensive coach. You could do that. And Doug took a couple of days. Maybe he reached out to some people. Maybe nobody wanted to come with him. But at the end of the day, it was, you can't hire within, find your staff out. And it didn't work. It didn't work. I don't know how much Wentz had to do with it or not. Miles threw some gas on the fire. He's one fumble away from being target. Keep talking. Exactly. I hear you. You definitely do some fire. Does this mean Zach Ertz stays? If Howie can get the money, but I doubt that. And if we do find a way to free up some money, listen, I love some Zach Ertz, but if we do get out of this cap via Howie Roseman, you can't spend it on Zach Ertz. I'm not saying he's not a great player, but we need to put that back into the offensive line, put that in other places. So Charlie G says, Doug says he's tired of people telling him what to do. Exactly. That also was part of it. Victory said, bye, Press Taylor. You already know. Bye, Press Taylor. Ari said, yo, this for real? LOI just spoke up. Yes, sir. Doug Pederson is fired. I believe it was more of a mutual respect, a mutual parting, because they don't see eye to eye when it comes to the future of this team. Doug thought he can win with the guys in-house, talking about the staff and how he wanted to venture out. Lisa said he seemed lost for a while. Yes, he did. I mean, listen, press conference is just a press conference. I know you win football games on the field, but I could never understand how a human being who's well-educated a lot more than me can get on the podium and talk the way he talked when it comes to the answers. Like, he would just fall into the trap of all these beat writers and just say the wrong thing to throw his team under the bus, to throw players under the bus at certain times. It just wasn't good. Murphy said Wentz will be traded soon. Wentz has regressed every year since 2017. I'm not going to say Wentz has been playing good. I'm not going to say that. Again, it's going to be up to the new head coach to see if he believes he can fix him or not. The new head coach should have say in whether it's Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts. Now, again, you might have to sign on the dotted line to being the Philadelphia Eagles head coach under Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman's agreement that you're coming in here. We want you to work with Hurts, or we want you to work with Wentz. That might be something that makes head coaches second guess as well. I don't know. again, there was a lot of rumors that the fracture relationship between Doug and Wentz was going to make Jeff Lurie pick between them. Now, whether you think it was the right decision or not, or whether that even was a decision to be made, Doug is gone. Why would we get rid of Lane? I don't think so. A lot of people talking about with Lane and Brooks' contract, one of them could be expendable just because of how injury prone they are, but we'll see. 21 million get freed up with Alshon, another player. Oh, can't remember. Malik Jackson is the other player. Tommy says you got to let the coach get his guys. The next coach will want the same. Exactly. Listen, no matter if it's Doug Pederson, no matter if it's Eric Bieniemy, no matter if it's a college coach, the coach comes in wanting his staff, and he wants to have some say on the roster because good coaches know how to build good rosters with GMs. That's why you got the coach/GM people. Andy Reid is the coach/GM for the Chiefs. Bill Belichick is the coach/GM for the Patriots. Mike Tomlin builds his roster the way he wants. These coaches get huge say in the franchise. Now, I'm not saying you let a first-year coach come in and just rule it all, but when you do the hiring process and you weed out who you don't like and weed out who you like, once you do that, it's like, listen, I have a manufacturing company, but I be on vacation. I'm the owner of this company. I can't manage the company, so I pay this guy money to do it. Now, I let him do it his way because I'm paying him to get the job done. If he doesn't get it done, then I move on. But at the end of the day, if I keep coming every Sunday and changing what he's doing, then why not just stay there and do it myself? You're paying a guy to run the job. Let him run it. And Doug was not given a fair chance after the Super Bowl. Listen, we won the Super Bowl with Frank Wright, DeFilippo. They got picked up from other teams because of winning the Super Bowl. And from then on, no matter what, even if he picked Mike Groh or not, Howie Roseman, little by little, started getting his hands more involved in football operations and never gave Doug a fair chance. But that does not allow Doug to not run the ball. That does not allow Doug to just mess up press conferences. That does not allow Doug to finish the season the way he did. That does not allow Doug to do certain situations the way he did. Didn't kick the field goal or go for it in Cincinnati. There's no excuses for the way he's coached throughout the season, but it is part of it. Marquis said, Mike, we know the new head coach won't have the say. That's why I don't want Eric Bieniemy to come here, period. Let's him go to the LA Chargers or Atlanta. I hear you. That's going to be crucial. You know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, Howie still being here, he could have learned from this. Maybe Howie wanted Doug back. Maybe not. I can't speculate everything. But, you hear the rumors and you could start putting things together. There was dysfunction between Howie and Doug in the sense of him letting him do that. Howie's Howie's been, again, surviving multiple coaches. Maybe he's like, I can't keep a coach because I got to let him do something more. So I don't know. As they said, Wentz hasn't played well this year. And in 2018, he had an up and down year. Wentz is still a good young player. Y'all tripping if you think he's bad. Again, if I don't see your comment, I'm trying to get to as many people as possible, but a lot of people in here. Chris P said, I like Mike Kafka. And pushing him it was determined to the team 100%. I admire his passion, but gotta be smart. Health is priority number one. Not sure what that does. Carson wanted Doug gone, so now when he sticks, I knew Bobby Murphy was going to come in and say that. Shout out to Bobby Murphy. Doug is kind of concussed. I don't know. But like I said, shout out to all 368 people in here. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We do live streams. We do live call-ins. And we also do regular podcast episodes. Like I said, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I dropped the video with all this rumors about Doug Pederson's job not being safe. And I pretty much said, to me, it's true. This is why I believe it's true. And this is what I think is going to happen. And I said, at the end of the day, Doug was treated unfairly for some things. Doug also fairly had a bad coaching season and a multitude of aspects. And I believe going forward, Doug was going to be fired. So it's not like you could go back and watch the video It was at 8 o'clock in the morning prior to all this news breaking. And actually, I dropped it at 8, but I put it up at 11:30, 12 at night. And I pretty much said, Doug's going to get another job somewhere else, but it's inevitable for everything that went on from the last game to the players to Carson Wentz to Howie Roseman. And even though I don't believe Howie Roseman should be here, he's going to be out. Rawls said, hire Marvin Lewis, defensive minded coach. I hear you. I hear you. Some coaches have different personalities. If Benemy comes, I bet he ain't backing down at Howie because Andy telling him all the stuff. Yeah, you got to think about that too. Good point, Isaiah. Again, the same way that Eric Bieniemy wouldn't back down. Doug Pederson was under Andy Reid as well. So Doug knew about Howie prior to coming in too. So Carson is going to come back and do the same he did last year. He might. Matt King said, like the video. Shout out to you, my guy. Carson is going to have a comeback year, especially if we draft Jamar Chase. I will be dropping my Jamar Chase versus Devontae Smith video soon. Hire Jason Garrett. Oh, man. You really want the clapper? Clapper McClappin? Adam said, Doug is a good players coach, but he was horrible at hiring his own staff. Facts. And shouldn't have been calling the plays. I agree. Listen, to me, it was keep Doug Pederson and allow. Hold on. I'm about to see if I can react. See, I wish I can play Howie Roseman's thing and listen to it with you guys, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. Lori is speaking. I might try to put it on low. I'm gonna rewatch it. And if he says anything crazy, let me know what he says. But again, I read his statement. I read Doug Pederson's statement. Carson comeback year coming soon. Hey, Michael Intro, you hit me up on my video earlier today, and I asked you. I gave you a nice little paragraph back explaining my take on everything, and I asked you what your take was, my guy. I hear you though with what you were saying. The owner is about to talk to the media. Jeff Lurie about to speak up. Like I said, I'm going to listen to that after now because I might as well finish what I got to do here. I'm going to be getting into the call-in. We got 33 minutes down. Again, we got 325 people in here. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe button for Philly content. We do live streams. We do podcast episodes. Again, I dropped the video at 8 o'clock in the morning saying my piece on this. RA says, need someone who ain't afraid to get on Carson's butt when he needs it. Also stand up to Howie. That's the thing. But you have to put that stuff out on the table before signing. It's funny how these goofballs still think Carson has it. Lucky for him, the crowd wasn't in attendance. Yeah, man, this season could have got a lot uglier. Let's remember, Eagle fans are no slouch when it comes to letting a player know they like him or not. Bieniemy would be a great hire. I agree. I'm not even an Eagle fan, but I'm still subbed, and I know how it feels. Hey, shout out to you, Z-Man. Appreciate you. Who do you like, though, Z-Man? We need a defensive coach and let him get a guy, let a guru offensive coordinator like Jay Gruden comes to mind. Listen, Jay Gruden was a guy who I believed always had pretty good offensive mind. I just didn't like him as a head coach, manager, and everything. Be more careful said no to Dabo. Ref Taco said Aaron Donald suffered a torn rib. Wow, that hurt. Peace. I'm sorry I missed it, bro. I will check it out. Nah, like I said, because you came in, you were talking about the narrative. Me spinning the narrative saying that Howie Roseman does this, that, and the third. And I said, I hear you in these points, and I just gave you my thing back. But it's all good, man. It's all good. This is what we got to do as Eagle Nation. We got to agree to disagree. You know what I mean? But we all know we want to get dubs at the end of the day. Bryce said this is insane. Young Money says Jim Caldwell the coach, Eric Bieniemy head coach, and Carson is still a baller to all the doubters. He will wake y'all up. So you want Jim as quarterback coach and Eric B as the head coach. I see you. Can my chat be shown? We need to get Dabo Sweeney. Shout out to you, Sam. I don't know about that, though. Z-Man said I'm a Browns fan. Hey, shout out to you, though. Getting that big dub. Big dub over the Steelers. Let's go, Brandon. Howie and Jeffrey sitting in a tree. Let's go versus when you dropping the link, Mike. Oh yeah, we about to drop the link right now. I'm not gonna be on here much longer. I'm gonna get the last 30 minutes where you guys can call in again. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button. It helps me ranks on YouTube. And again, the Eagles live chat is going nuts. I'm about to check it. I'm about to drop the link though too. Mike B said Bill Coward for coach, Wade Phillip for defensive coordinator, Jay Gruden for OC. He going all out with the picks. But here we go. The link is dropped. Again, listen, when you do come into the chat, we got to be super quick with these. We can't be taking too long. There's too many people in here. And I appreciate you guys 100%. Again, smash the like button for your boy. It's easy. It's simple. It don't cost a thing. All right. Like I said, I just want to check. I just want to check out what's going on with the. Wow. Jeff Lurie speaking. He got a K in there. He got a whole K in here. But all right, let's go. All right. Again, we're not going to be too long on these call-ins because I do got to go and I only got about 30 minutes. Let me get to this real quick. Lori just said Doug is family friend. Doug ain't messing with Jeff Moore. You're like, I ain't coming over for no more dinners. Get up out of here. Daniel said it's sad to see Doug go, but Eric B., the 49ers defensive coach, or Pep Hamilton. A shout out to Pep Hamilton, really doing a great job with the Chargers quarterback. Dang. I just have a blank. I know the chat will let me know. Chargers quarterback. I can't think of it right now. Rex Ryan may happen. I don't know if he'll get out of the booth. Howie, I'm gonna erase what I did by talking about Doug. Facts. All right. All you can see is the Eagles fire chat and Howie. That's all. I agree. Guess y'all in rebuild mode. So y'all moving from the booth from both quarterbacks drafting at 1-6. No. Hey, BB stuff. I did see that. I'm going to talk to you about that. Good stuff. Andrew said Chargers got the best hope. Yeah. All right, ready? Oh, yeah, and it's Herbert. Shout out Justin Herbert. Shout out to Charlie G and Ricky J. We're going to get the first guy in here. Big Pain, what's going on?
What's good, man? My main thing I'm scared for. Well, first off, Howie Roseman, like everybody else. But I think a lot of people got to understand Howie Roseman is the one who don't value linebackers, and he's the one that didn't bring Jordan Howard back. Like, those things fall on Howie Roseman. But for future, I'm scared of who would actually, if this job is actually attractive as some Eagles fans are making it seem, because it seems as if as soon as you have a bad year in Philly, you're getting clipped. Like, because Howie Roseman outlived Chip Kelly, now Doug Pederson, and Andy Reid. So it seems that if you deal with the Eagles, you gotta deal with Howie Roseman, and I'm scared if anybody want to deal with that, because Doug Pederson won a Super Bowl not too long ago, and we still got rid of him. So it's like, I don't know.
Hey man, I agree with you. The guy below me right now has been a problem when it comes to stepping on head coaches' heads and just evaluating talent. He's been putting us in a hole as well. Bro, Eagles live chat is all fire Howie Roseman post. Hey, yeah, listen, I went into there real quick, and there's 1,000 people in that chat just saying fire Howie, fire Howie, fire Howie. Yeah, I mean, they don't even care. But man, I agree with you, man. It's going to be hard to get a guy in here that you can tell them that they're going to be able to do it their way, knowing what just happened. And listen, no matter what we think of Doug, another coach is thinking a head coach who was a Super Bowl champion can't even get his way over there in Philly. How am I? So,
yeah.
You got one more thing to say? Because we got a lot of people coming in. I'm about to bounce in like 30.
That's really about it. And I just felt as though if you keep Howie, he has to only control the cap space. He can't really. He just should be a financial manager. He shouldn't really be the evaluator talent, because you can't fire Doug Pederson for one bad season when Howie Roseman only drafted one Pro Bowler. They said, we missed on Metcalf and Jefferson. Whether y'all like any of these other receivers we got, those two are clearly better than what we have right now.
Facts, facts. Hey, appreciate you, Big Pain. Shout out to you, my guy.
All right.
Peace, peace. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. If you just getting in here, make sure you smash that like button. It's free, don't cost a thing. We are continuing the live call in. If you want to call in, click the link that's pinned in the chat. Again, everybody in the back, we're going to go quickly with these because we got a lot of people in here, and I got about 25 to 30 minutes that I could be on here before I got to run out and do some things. So let's go. Let's go. Birds HD in the building. What's going on?
What's up? What's up?
How you feel?
Man, I was in school when this happened. I was just looking at my computer, and then my phone was blown up. All these YouTube notifications that Doug got fired and stuff. So I was surprised. And the first thing I thought when I saw that was, by that means they chose Carson going forward, and that Carson's going to be the man by firing Doug, because those two did have problems.
That definitely one way you could look at it. There's a multitude of things that I think it was, as much as people think that Doug went in office and Lori just said you're fired. I think it wasn't. I think they had a conversation. He said, did you figure out who you want on the staff? Doug says, listen, I want these guys. I mean, it is what it is. And I think they were able to have the relationship and say, okay, I think it's best if we both go our separate ways. And that's how I think it ended. Not like, Doug, you're fired, or Doug's like, can I get my job back? I don't think there was no groveling or nothing like that. But hey, let's go Bird HD. Shout out to you. Hey, everybody in the chat, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Check out. He definitely either has one or is going to drop a Doug Pederson video. You have one. I think you put one out already, right?
Yeah.
So definitely go check that out. And I appreciate you, my guy.
Yeah.
Peace, peace. All right. Like I said, we got to be quick with these because I got to go in a little bit. But let's get on the youngest Eagle fan I know, Braden. Eagle fan, what's going on?
Nothing much. I heard it in school. I was hyped. I like this move. We should definitely get Deuce. We should definitely have him as a head coach. And I think this team is in rebuilding mode, and I just like where this team is going. Jeffrey Lord's making smart decisions, I think, by firing Doug. And yeah. And who do you think we should get in the draft? I think Jalen Weddle, big, fast receiver. Jalen Weddle.
I'm not too sure who I would take if in the first round yet. I still got to do some more research on that. But hey, I agree with you. I think it was something that had to be done. Everything was leading up to this. Is it the full right?
And Jalen Weddle is a big guy. I think he's fast. He's big. I think he can definitely be the future of this franchise with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's coming off an injury. Don't even know if he's going to play in the championship game tonight. He's supposed to play, but this will be his first game back. But hey, Braden, I appreciate you 100%. Let's go Eagles. And I like your take on it, my guy. Peace, peace. Hey, everybody in the chat, shout out to Pat's Nation commentary. Listen, I don't know why, but StreamYard is not updating the chat. So I just had to go on my phone, and I realized that there's a lot of people commenting. Like, I do everything. Adam M, Mills Lane, Glenn Ninja, all y'all people, or everybody's commenting, but I can't get to it. Hopefully it's going to refresh. I don't know why it's doing it. It never does that before. But let's get the next guy on real quick. We got to be quick with these. The Philly sports fan, what's going on?
What's up? How you doing, Mike?
Chilling. Got the news earlier. How do you feel about it?
Okay, so I was happy about it, but after seeing what some people are saying and thinking about it myself, I like it, but Howie should have been gone first. I don't have a problem with Doug being gone. I have mixed emotions about him. You know, he's a good head coach. A few years ago, won the Super Bowl. Obviously, kind of, you know, we were down that road. That was a fluke. Got to move on. But I feel like Howie should have gone first. And I'm kind of, I don't want to say I'm surprised that we got rid of Doug first, but I feel like Howie still needs to go. And I'm afraid that he's not going to, which I feel like hurts us in the upcoming draft because I know we have John Dorsey, and I feel like he could be drafting, but if he's not drafting, it's not going to be good.
Hey, I agree with you. I think Dorsey has to be involved. You know, we're starting over. You know what I mean? And again, depending on how much Howie's going to have his hands on it, you would think that the head coach is going to pick, do I want to move forward with Carson or do I want to move forward with Jalen Hurts?
Yeah,
If it's a guy who believes in
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
I was just saying if there's a guy who really believes in Jalen Hurts' skill set, he might push for that. You don't know. That's going to be the next thing we got to see.
Yeah, that's why I believe the quarterback debate's still so up in the air, because we could get a guy that fits well with Carson Wentz. We could get a guy that fits well with Jalen Hurts. It also depends on who we get as our offensive coordinator. Doug Pederson wasn't good with Carson Wentz. They didn't fit well together. The new head coach or the new offensive coordinator could fit great with Carson Wentz, and he could be elite like he was in 2017. Vice
Facts.
versa, Jalen Hurts. But we really don't know.
That's going to definitely be a wait and see type of situation. A shout out to you, Philly sports fan. I'm gonna get with you. We're gonna be doing a lot more call-ins, and hopefully I can stay on longer other days. You know what I mean?
All right, thank you.
Peace. Again, I'm looking at the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Steven, Gamer, Fits the Cat, Philly fan all day. Be more careful. I don't know. This never happened to me where it stopped doing the chat on StreamYard. I can only look at it on my phone, but it is what it is. Again, we got to go through these quickly. We're going to get the next guy in here. What's going on, Daniel?
What's going on, man?
Hey, chilling. How you feel about this news? Breaking news.
Like I said in the chat before you put this up, I'm sad to see Doug go because it's his first bad year and Carson's really first bad year. But we got to wash our hands of this and keep pushing. Like the person said before, how we should have been going. That should have been the first domino that should have been dropped to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? So how we should have been going, and we should have been picking out of the Pittsburgh camp or Baltimore's camp of personnel, of VP personnel, so they can do what they got to do best. But like I said before, I'm sad to see how we go. I really want us to really get a good coach here and figure out what we're going to do with both Jalen and Carson. Look, like the last caller said, we could even bring a coach in here that is a bad fit for either of them. What if we bring in Salah from the 49ers? That's a DC-minded coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's not focused on Carson and Jalen that much. So I say, like I said before, keep Marvin Lewis away. That's the first thing. Marvin Lewis don't need to be here. That's the first thing. Second thing, get Deuce to be head coach. You need to keep Deuce in the building, but mainly get Pep Hamilton here. He did a great job. I've been following Pep ever since he was in the XFL because he had the best offense running in the XFL with the Washington Defenders. And what he did with Herbert, it shows that he needs to be an NFL coach, or at least be there. Also, consider Eric Bieniemy, especially if you want to fix Carson or Jalen. Or throw it all away and get a defensive coach in here and make sure that he can get a good OC in here. Preferably Seth Joyner.
Hey, that would be tough. He definitely knows he definitely has attitude and can bring some edge to this defense. But hey, shout out to you, Daniel. Got to get these other guys in here. I appreciate your analysis, my guy. Let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to a new coach.
Yes, sir.
Peace, my guy. All right, we're going to keep these moving. Let's go with my guy. I got my guy, Stephen Joyce, channel member in the building. What's going on, Stephen Joyce?
What's up?
So, how you doing? How you feel about this? What's your initial reaction?
Well, we're actually having a party tonight because he got fired.
Well, I guess you're taking it very well. Shout out to you. Enjoy. Were you surprised though?
I was kind of surprised but when it came out that what his staff was going to look like, that was true. That was kind of like, it makes it look like he almost wanted to get fired, you know?
Hey, yeah. There's been rumors about him not doing everything in his power, that, as much as, people wanted him out, he couldn't handle the back and forth with Howie, and he wanted out too. So, hey, maybe both sides got what they want at the end, but we got to look to build this franchise back up. I can't be going through no 4-win seasons. It's just too much to handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe they can get the guy from the Chiefs in here, or the assistant from the Panthers. So that'll be who I go with. So
that's two top names, Joe Brady and Eric Bieniemy. But hey, shout out to you, Stephen Joyce. We're gonna be doing a Philly Talk Podcast Nation live stream where it's me, you, and them guys, Victory, and all that, and we rock out for a good hour. All right.
All right, thanks, man. Later.
I'll be easy. Peace. All right. So we got my guy Adam in next. What's going on, Adam?
What up, bro? How you doing?
Chilling. How about yourself?
You know, I wasn't surprised to hear the news. I mean, listen, thank you for Doug for getting us the Super Bowl in 2017, but it's just like the Foles thing. It's not one person. You know, it was a perfect season. My bad. I'm downstairs working out.
If good?
I read, I was watching the podcast and decided to jump in. But it's not just one person. You know, it's like Foles played the best game of his career, but he's not a franchise quarterback. You know, the run game, we were averaging like 6 yards a carry on first down that year. There was a plethora of things. And as for Deuce Staley and Seth Joyner, it's like, that sounds great, but that's just like you wish for that to happen. But I don't think that's necessarily like, you know, how he hires somebody that he sees as groundbreaking. He always does that. He's going to hire someone that has, and I don't think he's going to go with the no experience this time because of what happened with Doug at the end. And, you know, as for Doug, it's just the play calling, man. They're obviously going to stay with Wentz, and they moved on from Doug, and now they're probably going to package Hurts together with something else to try and move up in the draft. And that looks to me like what they're going to do, whether I agree with it or not. I'm just saying, let's stick with what it looks like it probably is. Like we all want Mike Howie gone because he's more of a guy that you bring in when you're on the cusp, because he's like a guy that makes trades. He's not a drafter, you know? So it's like, I might agree with Howie being gone, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So it's kind of like, you know, it looks like Wentz is going to be here and they're going to be moving on from Hurts. Because look, right now, it might not be a bad idea. You might be able to get something. You might be able to get a first rounder from Hurts or a second rounder and then package your first and second together to move up to the top three, you know, to get it.
We end up to draft a quarterback, you're saying?
Nah, they need an offensive line. If you're keeping Wentz, you're not going to draft a quarterback.
Correct. Yeah.
To get an offensive line. And that's, I mean, listen, you know, I love Kelsey, but, you know, his time has passed, obviously. He's getting older. They need to refresh the offensive line. I know it's not the fancy, snazzy pick we all want, but I think if you package up and you can get a top 3 offensive lineman, you have to do it.
I think that's definitely a possibility. I know everybody wants the corner or the wide receiver, but that's definitely a possibility. But I will say this, though, with all the quarterbacks in there, I believe you could probably get that top guy at 6 because I think it's going to be quarterback heavy. And then you might see one of them wide receivers come off the board in the top 5 anyway, like a Jamar Chase to the Dolphins.
And it's not that I don't agree with that. It's just with the Wentz contract and with their situation, I don't see how they're able to move on from him and take that cap hit with where they're at right now and still survive. I think they're going to give him another year to hope that either he comes back to where he was and starts to progress, or he plays well enough that they can then use him to trade him the next season. But right now, I just think the cap hit is too big to get rid of him when you're trying to. I just don't think that they're never want to just rebuild from the bottom. The Eagles, they're going to try and retool.
They always try to stay relevant. They're not going to try to be that bottom of the basement team for a while. The Raiders, the Jets, the Bills until now, the Browns. We're not that city. We're not that fan base. We won't allow it. We won't accept it. And that's why they keep Howie around, because Jeff Lurie's in love with him and he thinks that he can still keep us relevant, even though I know the fan base don't think so. I don't think so when it comes to drafting and evaluating, but I do believe he is going to get us out of this cap trouble, and we'll see where we're at. But hey, Adam, shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate you.
Great podcast. Thank you.
You already know, my guy. Be easy. All right. We got Sixers fan 10 in the building. What's going on, Sixers fan? We got a game tonight to watch too.
Yeah. I think at this point with this team, it's gotten so bad with our cap and stuff. We just need to blow up the team. There's nothing left we can really do. We're still stuck in 2017 with our O-linemen and stuff. They're all old. Peters is done. Kelsey is done. Brooks is hurt. This whole team's just kind of done right now. We need to restart, and that's why firing Doug is good. We need a new person, just something new. Pull us out of it.
Hey, pretty much to the point. I mean, I know a lot of people feel the same way. Some people are saying full 100% rebuild. Some people talked about the retooling. I think the Eagles always try to retool because of how the fan base presents itself. But I agree. I mean, blowing it up was probably the best thing to do. I think we blew everything up, but one piece still remains, and that's Howie Roseman. And I know a lot of people feel some type of way about that. I do as well because of what we've been through with him, the long haul, seeing these coaches go and him staying and not being too much of a difference, except for 1 year where everything aligned up and we got it. But if this organization was built right from Howie, we would have been able to possibly sustain that success and not be a one-hit wonder, which we were at that time. So I agree with you, Sixers fan 10.
Yeah. Also, I think right now, Doug benching Hurts in that playoff game was so stupid.
The
Because
last game.
if we're keeping Wentz right now, then we want Hurts' stock to go up.
Facts. But hey, man, shout out to you. I got a lot of people in here. We're going to try to get everybody quick. Got to get some things done before the Sixers take on the Hawks. Shout out to you, my guy. Hello. All right. We got my guy Vic 3 in the back. What's going on, Vic 3?
What's good? How we doing today?
How you feeling? Breaking news.
Man, you already know how I'm feeling. I sent you that message this morning. It's gonna have a happy day. We have some good news, and it came in. Now I'm hoping that I'm saying. I doubt it'll happen, but I was hoping Howie's gonna get fired. We got to get past it. I'm saying? It is what it is. Howie's already went through 2 coaching regimes. I don't think he's gonna survive a third. So that's something that we gotta, that's a bright spot we gotta look at. But we got a fresh start. You know what I'm saying? The team isn't what we expected it to be. Doug has been regressing for the past 3 seasons. The time has come. It's better to rip off that bandit instead of have him as a lame duck another year, and then to fire him for what? We're just wasting a year. So the time came to make the move, and Jeffrey Lurie did it.
Yeah, man. When I look at it again, if you listen, I dropped the video at 8:00 in the morning. I actually put that video on YouTube at 11:30 last night, but I kept it private. I said, dang, nobody gonna watch it at this time. Boom, let me wait till the morning and release it. I was busy with family function. I actually wanted to get that video done like around 1:00 on Sunday. But it came to the point where when you look at everything building up, you knew that was going to happen. If we as a fan base could pick, we'd probably want to get rid of Howie once, get an offensive coordinator here and run it back with Doug one more time. But that's unrealistic when you see Lurie attached to Howie Roseman. And because he's attached to Howie Roseman, we knew that these 3 cannot see eye to eye when it comes to Carson, Doug, and Howie, and 2 or 1 had to go. Right now, it was the easiest with Doug because he's trying to lay something out that just don't make sense. You're going to fix this team by taking the same coaching staff and just moving each one up. D-line coach, D coordinator, OC, offensive coordinator, passing game analysis. Now you the offensive you the quarterback coach. It wasn't going to get it done. And again, if you think Lurie hated hated Doug and wanted to get rid of him right away, we would have did that. Lurie tried everything to say, Doug, just agree with us. Just come to us and say, we'll take the staff you provide, or I will venture out and look for outside staff members. And they would have kept him. So I think it was more not step into my office, you're fired. More of a, listen, I want to do it my way. You want to do it your way. I love you. You love me. We don't see eye to eye. We might as well just go our separate ways. Like you said, why prolong it for a year and ruin something else? We're just going to go our separate ways.
I think everything went downhill when that decision to have Mike Rowe as offensive coordinator came about. That was the first domino to start falling. That's when we started looking at Doug kind of sideways. But you can't blame everything on Doug. We all know how he has a lot to blame. The players that we got here are players he picked. Doug had a little bit to say, but he didn't have all to say. Exactly. Now, like I said, hopefully, we get a new coach going forward. We get someone offensive minded. Hold on. Let me just stop right now. I keep on hearing everyone talk about Deuce Staley. Stop it. Deuce hasn't proven anything in the NFL. He is a running backs coach, and that's all he's going to be. Please stop bringing up his name as a head coach. That's one thing I gotta bring up right now. That's been irking me for a while.
Well, here's what I would say to that. Realistically, there's stepping stones. Offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators next stepping stone is to be a head coach if they can prove for a while that they can run a defense or run an offense. So really, the talk should be if Deuce Staley was proven stuff, which I do believe he does his job very well. I think he's very highly respected in the Eagles organization. Just that maybe he's content, maybe he's being done wrong. But I would think his next move would be an offensive coordinator at the highest before you could talk about head coach. Like if Doug was being mentioned for anything, it would be offensive coordinator because you normally work your way up like that, unless you're Joe Judge and you're a dumpster fire Giants organization where you take a special team guy and make him head coach. But normally it's a coordinator, it's a DB coordinator, special team coordinator, linebacker coordinator who turns into a defense or offensive quarterback, offensive coach, and then it goes to the head coach. And normally quarterback coaches are the next offensive coordinator. Because let's look at Frank Wright's role. Ready? Frank Wright, the Chargers offensive coordinator, becomes the Eagles offensive no, I lied. The Chargers quarterback coach. I said offensive coordinator. I realized that. So real quick, Frank Wright, Chargers offensive. I lied again. Chargers. Frank Wright is Chargers quarterback coach. Sorry, I'm all off in the game now. Then he's our offensive coordinator. Now he's a head coach. But again, quarterback coach, coordinator, head coach. I think you got to go through them steps.
Yeah, it's a progression, but like people kind of forget. I think it was 2-3 years ago. Deuce didn't have a contract. He was a little upset with the team. He went out to other teams to see if he can get a job. He got no calls. So if no one else in the league wants Deuce as a running backs coach, what makes you think we're going to pick him as our head coach?
I hear you. I just tried to save face with my guy Deuce.
It is what it is. Like he's a great running backs coach. If he can get the opportunity to become like an offensive coordinator and prove himself, yeah, but he hasn't gotten the opportunity. So like you were saying, there's certain steps you got to go, and he can't skip them. Some people have the talent where they can skip it. John Harbaugh, one of the, what I'm saying? He was on the special team side of the ball, got 1 year as the defensive backs coach, got that head coaching job. But he was in there for a while. He had that experience. If anyone on the coaching staff should have a shot at being any kind of coach, it should be Jeff Stoutland. He did a great job. Look at Jordan Mailata.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Villanueva with Pittsburgh now. That was all Jeff Stoutland. That wasn't anything to do with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's always been one of the best offensive line guys in the game. But
I'm just happy that we're going to have a new change. You know what I mean? Hopefully they keep Stoutland out of everyone. And if Zeus stays, he stays. It's something we have a fresh start. You know what I mean? Whether Carson's here, he's not here. Hurts is playing, he's not. I say keep both of them and see how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to kill Hurts' confidence, but at the end of the day, he's cheap. He's not really doing it to your cap, so you always can experiment for a year one more time, especially with all these developmental pieces where it's going to be new staff all around, new quarterback coach, new OC, new head coach, because he's going to want to get guys that he's familiar with. So definitely pressing all these guys who are still remaining is out.
Well, the one thing about confidence, if you're a Philly quarterback, you're going to have confidence because there's people that are coming after your job week in and week out. If you can't handle that, you can't be here.
That is true. That's one thing that you're signing up for as the Philadelphia starting quarterback. But hey, shout out to you, my guy, 100%. Appreciate you. We gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean? That's what we do.
All right, man. Fly, Eagles, fly.
You already know. Peace. All right. So we got Sonic next. What's going on, Sonic?
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, nothing much. How you doing?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. Like I said, I got the news. I reacted to pretty much how I was talking on my video I put out this morning. It was inevitable. I think that Howie should have been going, but because we know he's not, it is what it is. But hey, go ahead, give me your take on that.
I mean, all I gotta say is Howie should have been gone. Like, I was thinking that Howie was gonna be gone and then Doug, but I guess I was wrong. Doug was gonna go, but you're right. Knowing, yeah, you're right. Like Howie Roseman is gonna stay on the Philadelphia Eagles. He's literally gonna stay there. I mean, he could be gone, but probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so. But real quick, so Doug Pederson, are you happy to see him go, or are you upset to see him go?
I'm on the middle side of it. I mean, I'm happy to see him go because his play calling wasn't good. He's better as a player's head coach than as a play caller because if he didn't hire, like, he should have hired an OC, but he didn't. So, and I'm a little sad to see him go because I really thought he was really a good head coach. I mean, he did have some bad seasons. Like, I mean, like, I guess like 2020 was his worst season, but 2019 was until they made a
To the
playoff.
end.
Yeah.
Yes, and so you pretty much how a lot of the Eagle fans are reacting. You know, we knew we needed an offensive coordinator in here. If Doug wasn't going to get it in here, then we had to go a different direction, and that's pretty much what I think happened.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, shout out to you, Sonic. We got to get going with these. I've been taking a little longer than I want. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you go check out Sonic 2.25 on YouTube. He does a lot of highlights and funny videos, and just he keeps it moving with his quick videos on YouTube. Shout out to Sonic.
Thank you. See you later.
Peace, peace. All right, like I said, we got to get going quicker with these. I think we got who's next. We got Fun One. We got Fun One. Then we got Vance, and then we got Philly 500's brother. All right, Fun One. What's going on?
Nothing much.
Are you having a fun one after you heard the news?
I'm sort of in the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah.
So, what is your biggest take? So, what is the quick positives you think of letting go Doug?
Carson won't be mad. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't really know.
And then the negatives of letting go Doug?
I don't know. I'm just still trying to process this.
Yeah, it's definitely new. Real quick, just to get the ball rolling. Do you think Doug Pederson, was a majority to blame for the offensive struggles last year, or do you still think it was a multitude of things?
I think it was a lot of things, but mainly Carson Wentz.
There you go. You know, I hear you, my guy. It comes down to, I think, with the guy below me, Harry Roseman, still being here, even though we don't agree with it. I think we had to go a different way from Doug. It's just too much bad blood there. I believe Doug is the less of a problem than Howie, but it is what it is. You got to get rid of one problem, and that was the one that Jeff Lurie decided. I think it was more of a mutual parting, though. I think Doug put his cards on the table, so did Lurie, and they said, "Hey, better to go different ways." But shout out to you, Fun One. We're gonna be doing another live call-in when everybody gets this more under, figure out where we're going next. We got some head coaches to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be easy, my guy.
Peace.
Peace, peace. All right, we got Vance. What's going on, Vance?
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Chilling. So, quickly, your take. Doug Pederson fired. Let go. How do you feel?
Man, sitting in my room today hearing this had to happen. I feel blessed. You know, God gave us a gift and I'm accepting it. It is what it is at this point. That's life. And what else? I want to say something else. I remember what you said back in November that Jeffrey Lurie got tired of all the excuses, all the blaming, and all this other extra stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when the Eagles kept losing their games, you was right. You hit it on the note, Mike. You was right. Doug Peterson's job was on the line, and I knew that he's going to be in some serious trouble if he didn't turn his team around. And it's a sad day to see this man go, but me, I'm moving on. It is what it is. I don't care who's the next head coach to come in here, as long as it's not Rex Ryan, because we don't need all that Jets drama up in this bitch. Those are real stuff. We really don't. Excuse my language, though.
You're good. But yeah, I agree. I think it came down to, as long as Howie's here, he was not going to let Doug do what Doug wanted to do. I think Doug got an unfair chance, but then Doug did do things along the line to put himself in jeopardy, not running the ball and doing all that stuff. If you ask me,
I'm not going to cut you out, but I wanted to say that the blame for all this, I think, is a magnitude of things that has to be blamed. They got to be blamed for. Harry Roseman, these bad draft picks. Like, come on now. This is what, the third time you've done this? And what's next? You're going to do this in 2021's draft coming up in April? You're going to do that shit again? I
Yeah.
understand why Harry Roseman didn't let his ass go today. He should have been let go.
Hey, I
So
hear you. I hear you. And I think that real quick, shout out to Reem only. Two guys that jump off the top is of course Eric Bieniemy, and we're getting a lot of hearing a lot of talk about Joe Brady, who was
oh
the
yeah, I heard about
assistant to the
that. I heard
Carolina.
about him.
So right now I'm still an Eric Bieniemy guy. I think again, a lot of people want to get out of the Andy Reid tree, but I think he's a great
How about the guy from
coordinator.
the 49ers? How about the guy from the 49ers? The defensive coordinator. What's his
Yeah.
name? How about him?
I'm not denying it. I just, like I said, it's happened less than an hour and a half ago. The top two on my mind are them two. I'm still looking into others as well, but we
Because
got a lot to talk about. We're not going to make a decision.
Listen, I'm not gonna stay in for too long, but I just want to say it like this. We ain't about to go back to the Stone Ages when we used to lose games. That's one thing we ain't about to do. And another thing is too, um, all this bull crap about Jason Garrett coming here. No,
Yeah, I don't think so.
listen, we don't need no cowboy drama here either. On some real stuff, we don't.
I hear you 100%. But hey, shout
But
out
I'm
to you,
done here, man.
We gonna get some more call-ins. I appreciate you, my guy.
All right, bro. Peace, bro.
Peace. All right, Philly 500's brother Joey. What's going on?
What's up, Mike? Hey, let me tell you this. We do not. I don't want to know that dude from Carolina. Their offense was not that good. They were not that good. They had talent. Their offense wasn't good. So they better not bring him to Philly. I'm very happy Doug is going. I wanted him going last year. He was worse than Carson Wentz. He regressed every year. Nobody paid. Listen, he's the idiot that wanted all these Marty Morningwig and Sperano. He's the one that said, "Oh, we bringing these people. We're gonna have all these different views." That's what messed up Carson Wentz. Watch what happens when you bring in a coach and a regular OC like you had in 17. Watch how everything goes back to normal. And then what should have happened was before the bye week, and they saw Carson Wentz struggling like week 4. Doug Pederson says that that's enough. Press tail, you're fired. Went and hired a quarterback coach, brought him in. By the bye week, Carson Wentz probably would have been fixed, and everything would have went back to normal. But he wasn't even thinking that far ahead to say, "Oh my God, maybe it's the person that's doing my quarterback. Besides, do this play, no, do this play, no, do this play." You know what I mean? He could have started at week 4, lost some of that weight. The quarterback coach would have said, "No, take some weight off because you need to be more mobile. Oh, let me fix this mechanic." And by the bye week, we would have been fine, right? Here's the coach that we need to hire. If you remember last year, there was an offensive coordinator who was going to come in, but he said no because Doug would not let him have the playbook. Remember Mike Caldwell? He's going to be a really good coach. Yeah, Jim Caldwell. Yeah, Jim. He should be our coach because Eric Bieniemy, he might come, but he's going to go wherever the money's at. That's where he's going to go. So I don't think he's going to go for the situation because if he goes for the situation, Mike, think about it. You said Atlanta needs a coach, right? Jacksonville just hired a coach. Urban Meyer is going to be just like Chip Kelly. I've been saying that for years. Don't bring him because he's going to be like Chip Kelly. I'm telling you, he's a good college coach, but he's not a good football NFL coach. Just like players, how were they so good in college, but they just couldn't commute it over to being an NFL coach? So I think Jim Caldwell will be good. He was going to be our offensive coordinator last year. I think that he's a perfect fit. But I also think they need to get rid of Press Taylor, and Carson Wentz is going to be our quarterback. What I think is going to happen is what's going to happen. Whoever the new coach is, if he comes before the draft, he's going to say, "Listen, I believe in Carson Wentz," because a lot of other teams believe in Carson Wentz. They don't believe that it's his fault that he's acting like this. He believes that it's Philadelphia that made him this mess. So they would take him. Indianapolis would take him. I guarantee you Atlanta would take him because they're trying to move on from Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. So what I'm saying is the new coach that comes in is going to say, "I'm not having no quarterback drama on my team. One of these got to go, and I'm keeping Carson Wentz. So let's use Jalen Hurts and get another pick in the first round or another second-round pick. He's got to go. I'll take my chances with Carson Wentz. He didn't get injured last year, and he got hit like 90 sometimes, didn't he? Right before the bye week, he got hit more than anybody in the whole league, like quadruple. So Hey man, listen, Mike. I'm telling you, dog. And I always keep it real with you. And I follow a lot of football outside of here, read a lot of stuff, and I pay attention to stuff. We have the team right now. Oh, we're like 2-3 players away that we can win. This is what people don't realize. Eric Bieniemy goes to the Jets. They're trash. They have a whole bunch of young people, unorganized. It's going to take him 2 or 3 years to get them to go where they need to go. If he goes to Atlanta, they're the kings of losing. He's got to fix the whole mentality. He's probably got to strip the whole team and start over with them. If he can't go to Jacksonville. You understand what I'm saying? We have Jason Kelsey will probably give us another good year. Mulata is up and coming good. We got him for a whole bunch of years. Lane Johnson still got about 3 years left in him. We need Devontae Smith. Smith. Yeah, listen, I think they get Devontae Smith. I don't think we're going to get him. I think Miami's going to take him or Cincinnati. I think we're going to end up with Jamar Chase, but I'd rather have Devontae Smith for this one reason, Mike. He played this year and Jamar Chase didn't. So what are we biggestly known for? Having the most injuries out of anybody in NFL for the last 3 years. Why would we want somebody who's been on the couch and really hasn't been in contact to come on our team knowing that we have injury problems? No matter who it is, we can have a player that's never been injured. He come and pull his Achilles in the preseason, and you're like, yo, what happened? Javon Hargrave wasn't an injured player. Look at him. He got hurt come on, man. So what I'm saying is we need to invest in the defense. We need to take the first round, take Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase. Chase will be the next best player, so we'll have to take our chance. But I'm saying I think if we can get Devontae Smith in the first round, stay 6. We don't need to move up. We don't need to pay all that extra money. The first 3 teams are going to take a quarterback. There's 5 quarterbacks projected to be taken in the first round, Mike. So they said the first 3 teams are going to take a quarterback, and Cincinnati needs offensive line to protect Joe Burrow. So they're going to go after that freak of nature guy, whoever he is, which I would take him if he dropped to 6, but that's who they're going to pick. That offensive lineman, that offensive tackle. You know what I'm talking about? He got a weird name. Yeah, so what I'm saying is we need to invest in like another cornerback or a couple DBs and linebacker. And we'll be good because we got the offense. If we take another quarterback, we got them. We got Hightower. We got Rager. They can probably bring Deshaun Jackson back for $1 million and just keep him around. I'm saying I ain't never think he would get injured this many times.
Yeah. But hey, real quick, we got a lot of people in here. I got to get to them. Right. Shout out to you, and I do agree though. The top pick is going to be interested, and I can't wait to see what coach we get in here so he can influence and see where we land in that situation. But head coach, top priority to get in here ASAP so we get the right choice in here. You know what I mean?
What you think about Jim Caldwell?
I like him I don't really like him as a head coach at this point for the simple fact he's older in his career. The last time he was coaching and actually had a lot of responsibilities, he had to leave due to heart problems. So I think he's more offensive coordinator role.
Yeah, well, we should get him either way, right? Either way.
I hear you.
But
I like it.
Definitely not the Panthers as the head coach. No way. He wasn't good, man.
He's the assistant coach, but I hear you. No Joe Brady for Joey. I hear you, my guy. Be easy though.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Peace. All right. We got Sean Brown. Sean, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, shout out to you for hanging in there, my guy. We got a couple more people. I'm actually going to be taking the link down soon, so I'm gonna rock out with you last. I think 4 or 5, and we're gonna rock out. But go ahead, Sean. Let me know what your instant reaction is to the Doug Pederson firing.
I got to be honest with you, bro. I'm like really disappointed in the Eagles. This was a really bad season, obviously, for everybody. And I just feel like the good franchises, and we have been a good franchise from the Andy Reid era. Yeah, we kind of screwed the pooch a little bit with Chip Kelly, but we still had winning seasons. I think it all starts with a good head coach. Doug might have been a terrible play caller at times, but he was a good head coach.
Yeah,
the players wanted to play for him. I think a lot of this has to do with 2 people. I think Howie Roseman's terrible drafting, his trades in the cap management covered up how bad he has been at drafting. And I also think Carson fell off a cliff. It's not Doug's fault he's throwing in double coverage. It's not Doug's fault he's taking sacks. It's not Doug's fault he's fumbling the football. So why is it all of a sudden on Doug that Carson can't play well? When does Carson get held accountable? I think the front office has coddled him a little bit, and I don't think that I think he's been treated like he's won 4 or 5 Super. He's treated like he's Aaron Rodgers, really. Like, what has he shown? He's had a couple good years. His first year was amazing. 2017 was just flat out amazing. I'm not going to take anything away from him.
I agree.
But in 2018 and 19, he was good statistically. He got us in the playoffs. But for him to act like this when he has played terribly, and for him to demand a trade of a team that's given him everything, the team basically said from day one, you're going to take us where we need to go, and he acts like he does. I don't think he's mentally tough enough to be an Eagles quarterback, man. I really don't. I was with him until he started demanding trades. So, I mean, you got Howie too, who's I think is part of the problem. I think out of all three of them, I think Doug was the least of the problems. I think it was Howie and Carson.
I will say this. I think if you just look at Doug's resume, being over 500, Super Bowl, 3 playoff wins or 3 playoff appearances in a row, even though we've been regressing as a football team in general in the process of getting to the playoffs. And if we were in any other division, we probably wouldn't have been in the playoffs. You got to look at this. There were injuries. There were a lot of things that held Doug back. There were also Howie Roseman, doing too much, stepping on Doug's toes as well. I agree with all that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't excuse him from continuously play calling bad and not taking accountability for that. And I do believe Lurie did everything in his power to give him an opportunity to come back one more year, because again, if you didn't want Doug, you would have fired him off the grip when the season ended. But you said, present what you want to. Tell me how you're going to fix this team. He said he's going to start bringing up guys who would have just made play calling and this offense even worse. He's talking about taking guys who were on the staff and just bumping them up a stage. Same thing. Lurie said no. Come back with a different plan. He came back. I think Doug was fed up with some of the stuff as well. I think they mutually parted, and at that point, it's inevitable. Like, if somebody is not willing to, these two weren't willing to work out. Howie Roseman and Doug Pederson weren't willing to do what's best for Philadelphia, and so you had to let one go, even though you probably should have let go of Howie Roseman first. That's Jeff Lurie's guy, and him being the owner, he's going to get ultimate say. And we just got to go off that. We just got to make sure that the next head coach we get in here, hopefully he can work something out at the table with Lurie and Roseman. Like, look, if I'm going to run this team, let me do it. I will handle all the football operations and you handle the acquisitions, and stick to what you do best. Hopefully that is talked about amongst them before signing. And we're going to have to see. But hey, Sean, I do agree. Initially, Doug Pederson is a great leader of men, and he's accomplished a lot in Philadelphia. The play calling was his downfall, the situational football. And the most important thing is this: him picking his staff, he just couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He didn't use or didn't develop connections outside the league. So when Lurie said, go find me somebody outside, we want fresh eyes in with you, he couldn't provide it. Howie provided the fresh eyes last year. They never got along. They started butting heads, and it came down to Doug Pederson failing as an OC. So that's just my thing. I think he got the short end of the stick, but it is what it is. We got to move on and do what we got to do.
All right, fair enough. I'd just like to say one more thing real quick. I don't want us to hire a college coach. I mean, even Saban failed with the Dolphins, man. He's probably one of the greatest college coaches of all time. I want to stay away from the college coaching ranks. I just don't think it works in the NFL most of the time.
Hey, I respect that. We're definitely going to see. But hey, shout out to you, Sean Brown. Appreciate you for supporting the channel. Stay tuned. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly, man.
Peace. I'm going to give this guy a chance to come on. I don't know. He's a giant. He got a giant symbol. I'm going to see what he has to say for a little bit. If he starts talking crazy, we're going to get him off. Oh, wait, that's Eminem. Oh, he dipped anyway. So I was about to bring the Giants guy on. He dipped. Shout out to my guy, Eminem. What's going on with you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So my feelings, I'm kind of bittersweet. You know, if you were to tell me that Doug will be fired last week, I would be a little bit upset. But and looking okay, so like everyone has said in the past, Doug, you cannot deny his ability to coach and be a leader of men. His players fight for him no matter who they are, no matter their skill level and whatnot. But what has been glaringly obvious is the man cannot coach up his coaches. And like I said before this week, in terms of who I would blame more, Howie or Doug, I was 70 Howie, 30% Doug. Now, as with more of these reports coming out leading up to today, I start to lean towards 60 Howie, 40% Doug. And that's because despite being a leader of men, despite being a very good head coach, and if it's true that he wanted to make Press Taylor his OC, he wanted to do all these in-house promotions, then I approve of him getting fired. Because like there's a caller earlier who was saying Wentz is the sole person culpable in his regression, and that Doug bears no responsibility for that, or at least that's what I got from it. Yeah, Wentz. There's some things that Wentz needs to work out, but I completely disagree with the idea that Doug Pederson is not culpable in his regression. And if it is true that Doug wanted to keep Press Taylor, make Press Taylor the guy who oversaw one of the worst regressions in a supposed franchise quarterback ever. He not only oversaw the regression in Carson, he also oversaw the regression in Nate Sudfeld. I'm not saying Nate Sudfeld was all that, but what we saw on what was it, last week Sunday that was not him.
Yeah,
so when you look, as Philly Fresh likes to say, when you really look at it and when you dissect it, that's messing around with them. But no, seriously, when you look at it, like you can't, as a fan, you can't really, and as a fan, and if you put yourself in Jeff Lurie's shoes, I don't blame him for not trusting Doug to fix Carson. Because how can I trust your vision to fix Carson and to propel this offense to the next level, or at least be a lot better than 4-11, if you want to keep the same guys that were there for the collapse? So that's
I agree. Again, if Laurie does not want Doug at all, if Laurie just is disgusted by Doug, has an attitude, he gets rid of him right away. For him to do everything in his power to give him 2 meetings to say, just give me some better information. He was fighting for Doug, but he just realized, Doug, you're not going to change. We need change, and it is what it is. But
for sure, man.
I agree. Shout out to you though.
One more thing though. Before I hang up, do you have a PO box, a private PO box, like a
mailing address?
Yeah, like something that's not your private address, but something like we as fans could send to or something.
I don't have one at this point, but I was actually thinking about getting one. I got mentioned that like last week, so I might be setting something up.
All right, well, I look forward to it because I got something that I like to send to you, man. So
I definitely you got me on Twitter or no?
I can send you a message.
I definitely, and we'll talk.
All right, for sure.
I'll be easy. All right, we got Trey, and then we got Kev, Raj, Philly, and Utah. Then we got Larry, then we got Jude. So, hey, Kevin, Larry, hang in there. Y'all coming up real soon. We got Trey coming up next. What's going on, Trey?
What it is, man? What it is? What you?
Chilling.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right. So let's get into it, man. By the way, y'all basketball team really is not that good. But stop crying or get out my room, man. Come, matter of fact, get out. Go ahead. Bye. I'm talking to the dog. Bye.
Do you still got the video on?
My bad. I'm sorry about that. No, he was crying. I don't know why he was crying. He was just sitting in my face crying. I think he want to play. But yeah. So he just made me lose my train of thought. My bad. All right. So as far as Doug, man, the way I feel about that situation is I feel it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet because it's like you put yourself in that position. You definitely put yourself in that position, especially because of the fact that after 2017, how spicy you was talking, how about that was going to be the new norm, and every season after that, it was regression after regression. But on top of that regression, you can also say the start of that season, he did not have Carson Wentz. The start of the 2018 season, he didn't have Carson Wentz. He had to rush Carson Wentz back because Nick Foles did go what? He started off 0-2 or 0-3. Then Carson Wentz had to go in, and
I think it was 1-1.
1-1.
But it was ugly 1-1.
Yeah, but and then it's like all our cornerbacks was going down, so it's like we can't stay healthy. Then it's like you the one who preached next man up, like that was your motto. So it's like just because we can't stay healthy, it's like we can't use that as an excuse because we didn't throw that out the water. So it's like it's bittersweet. With Carson, it's just like, come on now, Carson. He one bad season. A player of his a player that has his heights and skill, it don't go that low. Like I don't care who you is, like you just don't go from doing that to not knowing how to play football. Like that just don't happen. So it's just like we about to be back in some dark times, bro. Like this is like coaching switches is not that easy, and everybody thinking that it's going to be like super. No, because you already got to think about it. Like the team is fractured, and then you talking about bringing in a new coach on top of the fracturedness, but you still keeping the toxic. You feel what I'm saying? Toxicness around. Like it's still like the locker room still split, and you still got Howie. Then you still I don't know. Like my mind just all discombobulated with the team right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Do you have the video on still?
I'm sorry?
Do you have the video playing still? Because I hear myself in the background.
No, I got it on my phone, but if it's messing up, I can hop off real quick.
You're good. It's just that I hear myself repeat.
Oh yeah, I got you on my phone. My bad.
You good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Real quick, I'm just gonna say, we're better now. Not really. I think that. Hello?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I just muted my mic.
I got muted for a second while it's up. So when it comes to, and again, that was throwing me off, but we're good now. When it comes to the situation, I think, guys like Alshon, Deshaun, these guys who were back and forth maybe with the Carson or another quarterback is going to be going just for cap purposes. Zach Ertz, who's actually not a cancer, but a good locker room guy, is going to be going. So it's going to be a new makeup. And I believe the head coach that comes in has to put his imprint right away and figure out what's going on. If Carson's your guy, you start making his team about Carson. If Hurts is your guy, you start making his team about Hurts, and the guys just got to rally around him. That's why you need a guy who has charisma, who's gonna take that step. Again, maybe we get a head coach who was a former head coach, or maybe we get an up-and-coming OC like the Joe Brady's, like Eric Bieniemy, possibly the Buffalo's offensive coordinator. There's many different ways we can go about it, but we just got to make sure that we have an identity when we decide who is the coach, and then just go from there. I mean, Howie has to be a step back. We're not going to succeed no matter what if Howie doesn't take a step back from football operations.
He is toxic. I'm sorry, Howie. He got to go. Like Howie has to go. And I was watching a Brunson video early. He made a good point. You going to keep the guy to fix the money. Like Howie can fix the money, so you have to keep him off of that fact alone because he has to fix that cap situation. If we don't get out that cap situation, then we can't do anything. But also, it's just like after you fix the cap, what do you do with him? Because it's just like, what do you do with him? You can't keep him around after you fire Doug. That just don't make sense. Like both of them just have to go. Like Howie is. I feel like Howie is the reason. Like I feel like if you fire Doug, you bring Chip Kelly back. Like just because of the fact that it's just Like, I mean, like you might as well. Like, I mean, I'm just so mad at this point. It's ridiculous. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm pissed. Like, I am pissed. Like about the whole thing, about the season, about how everything went. Just, it's sickening.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, man. Like I said, we're gonna do more calling. Let me get to some of these other guys. I appreciate you, Trey.
Alrighty. And my bad about the speaker, man. We gonna fix that next time.
You already know.
All right.
Peace. All right. We got my guy Kev Raj from Philly, Utah. What's going on, Kev?
What's up, boss?
Hey, how you feel about this?
Man, well, let me tell you. Hopefully, you still got me?
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. And my bad about the speaker, man. We gonna fix that next time.
You already know. You had it perfectly fine, but now I can hear myself again too. So, guy Kev Raj from Philly, Utah. What's
me try
going
that.
on, Kev?
Try that. What's up, boss?
If you can, turn off the video that you were watching me on and just keep the
well, let me
email link up.
Hopefully, you still got me?
Yes.
Sorry about that, man.
You're good.
Alrighty. And my bad about the speaker, man. We gonna fix that next time.
You already know. You had it perfectly fine, but now I can. Raj from Philly, Utah.
Let me try that.
On, Kev?
Try that, boss.
Hey, I muted your mic real quick, but listen, Kev, try to. Are you on a computer or on your cell phone? All right. Make sure that every other window is closed except for the window that you have this screen up. You had it perfectly fine, but now I can. Raj from Philly, Utah.
Let me try that. Let me try that. That work?
Seems to be good.
Okay. Good deal. All right, we good?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that, Broham.
You're good.
Man, I saw you on, man. I just want to say real quick, I appreciate your content, bro. Definitely airing the games. I'm out here in Utah, bro. I'm gonna tell you. And of course, I don't get nothing but Broncos and maybe a Raiders game or Niners occasionally. But I'm missing Philly. But you brought the live feed, so I appreciate that, bro. Keep it up.
Hey, yeah, shout out to that. We only gonna get better, and we only going to hopefully be talking about some dubs though. Like there were too many L's.
You know it. Doug P. I mean, you spoke to it. You spoke to it. It was, we seen it coming. The writing was on the wall. I mean, I don't hate Doug P. It was just doing things throughout the year that was just inexcusable. It was like, bruh. I mean, where do we even start with that? I mean, he's fired, so obviously. But my one thing, bro, I do worry, because I think the hope is, or the thought is, possibly that maybe a new coach can do something with Carson Wentz. And that was hard because I mean, Carson has got, he's got the skill set. And what happened this year, I mean, you see all the injuries, right? The horrible play calling, horrible coaching. I mean, there were so many things, but then it's like, okay, when do you come down? When is that in that situation fall? When does the onus fall on Carson in that sense, as far as his poor play? But I'm all for it though. I support. Let's move. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But man, I made some notes, man. I'm a note taker, bro. I think one of the things though, and my man, and I'm not an Orlando Scandrick fan, but oh boy, he spoke to it. He talked about the culture. And I think somehow we're stuck in 17. You know what I mean? In 17, 18, that was awesome, dog. Awesome. But the thing is, I was thinking about this, like how do these teams keep, how do they stay in the mix? And I looked at some of the teams that, usually there were not so much the Patriots this year, but you look at the teams that have really been in the mix throughout the years, and you look at their front office and the things that they've done in the front office. And I scratched my head because I'm wondering, Howie Roseman, you got to demote him. I mean, that's fine. Let him handle the contract portion, the business side. But as far as player personnel, we need somebody that knows positions. And I even got on. I was looking at some of the guys that are available out there as far as like DCs and whatnot. Man, bruh, there is a lot. Actually, there's a lot out there. Now, I heard you guys mention, my man, of course, Wade Phillips, that I think he's kind of done.
Yeah.
But you had guys like, I was looking like Spagnuolo may be available again, Todd Bowles, and then this dude from the Niners, Robert Saleh. This dude's a position guy. I mean, if you want to resuscitate Carson Wentz, maybe you bring in a guy, a quarterback whisperer. Even though they said Doug was a guy, but I'm thinking, I was looking at this guy from the Niners. I mean, the garbage that the Niners had to work with as far as QBs, and if it's possible, So, but I am, bro. It hurts to go forward 11-1, but you know what? We got to start somewhere, and I think it's rebuild time for real.
I agree, and like you said, we got to get a guy in here who's going to get an identity imprinted on this team right away. Again, you got two quarterbacks. I think the organization is going to bring a guy in here, and they're going to try to say, listen, we preference you trying to get Carson Wentz back and on his feet. We saw a crazy regression from Carson Wentz. And yes, there were reasons why. The O-line was at an all-time low. Doug Pederson didn't do him any favors with calling plays that are tailor-made for his game. Now, a lot of people say, if he's $100 million quarterback, why do you got to do that? I understand both arguments. You should be able to throw from the pocket. But also, I don't care if you're $100 million or $200 million. Andy Reid has the best quarterback in the game, but he still calls plays that puts his quarterback in the best position.
Yes,
you figure out what your player likes and you execute it. So all that has been part of the Eagles' problem, and you just got to get out from under it. We're at the point now where if Carson Wentz doesn't work out, we're talking about a very cheap quarterback, and we're going to have the means to rebuild because we're going to have money available. We'll be broke this year. We might get out of it a little bit. Howie might do a little decent job, but we will eventually get to a spot where we have a rookie quarterback for 4 years and we have 2 or 3 years where we can maximize certain things. You know what I mean? Whether that's be under Howie or not. You know what I mean?
Well, what do you think, bro? What do you think? How long, whoever this new coach is, how long would you give Carson on? Because I still think, as much as I enjoyed seeing Hurts out there moving and shaking and doing some things, how much time? What you think?
1 year. Listen, here's a perfect example. And then we got other people in here, but hey, shout out to some good notes you had there. But listen, here's a perfect example. Baker Mayfield, horrible his second year. Look, Baker Mayfield, a great rookie season under I forgot the coach's name. Dang,
who was
somebody in the chat will let me know. He was on Hard Knocks. Dang, I can't remember. But anyways, a great rookie season. Then they bring in Freddie Kitchens, new coach. Horrible season for Baker Mayfield. And now they get another new coach in who implements a system, who does what Baker is good at. He's not saying, Baker, drop back 50 times and throw the ball. He hands it to Chubb. He hands it to Kareem Hunt, and then he boots legs and play actions, and Baker Mayfield is looking good, dropped 40-some points on the Steelers. That is what you do. So again, Carson Wentz, great player in 17, had some struggle years. If we get a guy in here and he implements the system and he does everything in his power to make Carson Wentz better, I'll give him 1 year, because Baker Mayfield went from leading the league in interceptions to being a fringe top 10 quarterback, a fringe top 10. So I can give him that year. We got to make the system work. If not, then we are in 100% rebuild, and we got to figure it out. And it's Hugh Jackson. Shout out to Anthony.
Shoot, I was about to say, man, real quick, just in closing, I think all they got to do is just look back what Frank Reich did in 17. Now, I'm not saying you're going to try to implement necessarily all of what Frank Reich did, but there were some necessary pieces that they had on that team as well. But Frank Reich has that creative offensive mind. Now, granted, the Colts are out, and I even thought real quick, man, what if they were to bring back Frank Reich? I don't know.
I mean, I think Frank Wright's sitting pretty there. He got the best offensive line with top 5 defense. They get a younger quarterback in there. They're competing. So again, don't be ruling out Carson Wentz to Indy, because we're talking about 1 year under a new system. That's
Yeah.
the 1 year. That's the new system. That is a guy who can get him back on his feet. But hey,
True.
Kev, we're going to keep it
True.
rocking. We're going to be doing a lot more call-in. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe.
Yes,
hit the
sir.
post notifications. I appreciate you, my guy.
Keep going, bro. Your heads up, man. We got this. We got this.
Facts. Peace,
All right,
peace.
bro. Peace.
All right. We're going to do these. We're going to go through these quick, but we got Larry. What's going on, Larry?
What's up, man?
Hey, chilling. How you feel about the news?
It's not bad. I thought he was gonna stay, but when I saw this video, it was like this video that said it was like this YouTuber that said what Doug plans was, and I said, "Oh, y'all should have fired him anyway."
Yeah, I think it was Joey Shakes who said it, but yeah, his plans were to just pretty much promote 3 different guys on the staff already in some more valuable positions. They couldn't do their job well last year. How are they going to get it done this year? I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you hear Dallas Cowboys took Danny Quinn?
I didn't hear they took him. I heard that they were interested in him. I didn't know if they pulled a trigger or not, so I'm still unsure of that. But I'll go off your word if you said they took him.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year.
It's been a crazy year. But let me ask you this though: do you see the Eagles coming back hard in 2021?
Not really.
I was trying to get you a little more excited, but all right, my guy. Last question. Do you have any preference on who the head coach should be?
I'm thinking Joe Brady.
Joe Brady? Hey, shout out to you, my guy. Keep grinding, keep watching the Eagles. It's always good to see young boys watching the Eagles. You know what I mean? I as soon as I was about 8, 9 years old, fell in love with football, and it is what it is. But shout out to you, Larry. Appreciate you.
All right.
Peace, peace.
Peace.
All right. We got my guy Lindy Endzone in here. What's going on, Lindy? Listen, we got Lindy, we got Jude, we got RIP Doug, and then we got Eagles from New Jersey, and then we out because my wife is blowing my phone up. Let's go.
Good timing then. What's going on? Been a minute, Mike. What's up, buddy?
Hey, hanging in there. You know, Doug Pederson let go from the Eagles. What's your initial take from that?
I think a lot of us are hanging in there right now. If you didn't yet, whenever NBC Sports Philly drops it on YouTube, you gotta check out Jeffrey Lurie's press conference if you heard it yet.
Nope.
Oh my
as soon as we get off here, while I'm doing what my wife needs me to do, I'll be diagnosing all the press conferences.
Oh, you're in for it, man. There was a lot of blame deflection involving Howie Roseman. I'll just put it at that. A lot of blame deflection. Yep. Another thing I got from him is that it sounds to me that Carson Wentz is staying. He believes that Carson's very fixable. He called him and Jalen Hurts very exciting quarterbacks for any head coach that wants to take up this vacancy in the football team. But I don't know. He doesn't give me much confidence going forward just by the way his press conference went. I'll just put it at that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were jumping. We still got 173 people in the chat. Shout out to you guys. We are an hour and 48 minutes deep. I only wanted to go in here for an hour and 48 deep. Listen, if you haven't done it, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 9K, and the like just helps the channel grow. But yeah, a lot of people kept jumping in and out and were like, listen, all I got from that interview was how he's staying, and that's about it. And it was just a lot of blame deflecting, like you said. It comes down to the point where it's like, bro, I mean, like, we know he's staying. Let's talk about what we're gonna do to make our future more bright. I guess he said that we're gonna wait on head coaches. I just don't want the necessary. What if an Eric Bieniemy and these guys go off the table, and now we're stuck with what you can call sloppy seconds? You know what I mean? We got guys who we're not fully sure, and we don't want to back into a head coach. We want to make sure we were 100% in on this guy, because the next few years, whether it be with the draft, Lord, please help Howie Roseman, but whether with the draft or just keeping Carson Wentz or growing with Jalen Hurts. These are going to be crucial years, so we can't just back into a head coach.
No, I mean it's crazy. You know, when you hear there's a bunch of reports out there that you know Doug just wasn't happy with the amount or lack of authority that he had with like coaching personnel decisions or whatever it may be. There's reports out there that he wanted Press Taylor as offensive coordinator and Corey Undelin as defensive coordinator, who's doing a great job for the Detroit Lions, by the way, with that secondary. Not so. I mean, I don't. It's like it's crazy. What kind of stock we can put into these reports at this point in time, but like you said, we don't want to be at the beck and call of these like last minute candidates for a head coaching position. And I'm sure Jeffrey Lurie is smart enough to realize that you want to be the first to the table and look at the best candidates possible if you really want to see the picture that you're trying to project for this football team moving forward. And let's not try to bring up 10 to 15 years ago when you thought that you had draft success. A lot of people are asking about right now. Like, what are you looking to do? Keeping Howie Roseman as a general manager and overlooking this draft. Like, we want to know the crux of the issue. Like, we want to find out what's going on right now. We don't care about 10 to 15 years ago because it's about the next page. It's about moving forward. So it's like I said, I don't have a lot of confidence right now just hearing what Jeffrey Lurie had to say. But as far as we know, I guess the quarterback controversy is going to continue with Wentz and Jalen Hurts still here, and Lord bless who the next head coach is. My goodness.
I have to agree too. Hopefully Howie gives him some more free reign, unlike he did with Doug. But hey, shout out to you, Lindy. We're going to keep these live call-ins. Hopefully you get in a little sooner. But hey, shout out to you. Always love your intake, your input when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles news. And everybody in here, if you haven't done it, go give him a shot. Go give him a look. His name is, again, right there, Lindy Endzone, Lindy Endzone. He does Eagles content too. Young, new, up-and-coming Eagles content creator. Go check him out.
Appreciate it, Mike. Good to see you again, man. Take care.
You too. Be easy, my guy. Connor said, let's go. You fired Doug, but keep Howie. I don't do it, but I agree. That is a mistake in his own. The 76ers front office is smarter than the Eagles front office. That is for show. And we got a Sixers game tonight. Listen, if you guys like Sixers play-by-play, I will be back on here at 7:15 to do live play-by-play with the Sixers. But let's go. We got Jude. What's going on, Jude? How you feeling? I can't hear you. Say it again. I can't hear you. You might have to go back out and come back in. All right, we got RIP Doug in here. What's going on, RIP Doug? RIP Doug? RIP. If you're talking, you got your mic muted. So I'm going to give you another chance. RIP Doug, if you're trying to talk and it's not working, it's because your mic is muted. If you want to unmute your mic. All right, not working. It's cool. All right, Jude, you're back. Try it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
I don't think it's so much Doug that it is. We don't have anyone. When you look at it, DK Metcalf and Justin Jefferson, guys we should have both had. Both broke records this season. We took Jalen Reagor and JJ Arcega-Whiteside. That's how he's fought. He's the one that should be fired. I'm 10. I've only been watching football since I was 6. Like, I remember the day they fired the day they hired Doug Pederson, January 18th. And I always remember that, and I was like, my dad was like, he's been an Eagles fan his whole life. This will change. He will lead us to a Super Bowl. What did he do the next year? He won us a Super Bowl. And now we don't have a medical team. He doesn't know what to do because our entire O line, D, offense is hurt. We're down the practice squad. We're down the practice squad players that went to college in Japan that shouldn't even make it to the NFL. Like, we're taking guys that should be undrafted that are predicted to go undrafted with our pick in the first round. And our picks in the first and second rounds, we're taking guys that are not even NFL players.
I mean, I don't think any first round pick was not an NFL player. I would say you possibly could have went. We could have went different rounds multiple times. Yeah, the player evaluation has been bad. But let me ask you this question, this real quick. When it comes to Doug Pederson, so you would have kept Doug Pederson, is what you're saying?
That's hard because I've only grown up around Doug Pederson. That's when they
So you
hired
don't
me.
know any other coaches.
That's when I started football. I did occasionally watch an Eagles game with Andy Reid as coach, or who was coach before Doug, like right before Doug.
Chip.
That's who I started. That's who I would watch. I maybe watch 3 games a season. Maybe I'll watch like the first week and like the last week.
Yeah,
But
you were young.
I
Gur.
was young. I'm 10. My birthday's in a month, and now I've only grown up around Doug. So I would say if you had to keep him, I said if they can make something happen for a very good coach, like you can't if you're Harry Roseman and Jeffrey Rory, you cannot bring in a guy that is a rookie that's never coached in the NFL. You need to bring in an experienced guy that has coached or at least coached somewhere. Like,
Hey,
and then I don't think it's Doug. It's more. I don't even think it's Carson. Like, I just think Carson has no one to throw to. The best guy on that field is Miles Sanders when he's out there. Deshaun Jackson, run, say Dallas. He got that 1-yard touchdown 5 minutes in. He played like 3 snaps the rest of the game. Like,
Yeah.
that is bad. That's bad coaching. And it's so much harder on Doug because now Doug has to be an offensive coordinator and a head coach. That's a lie. Like, you need to bring up I think his name's Eric. I don't know how to say his last name. Bieniemy.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yep.
It's just it's a whole bunch of craziness. I'll give you that. I was like,
Hey.
and a thing a few days ago popped up on my Instagram. This guy made a post that had like 3 million views and like 100,000 hearts, like likes. That's saying the Eagles fired Doug Pederson. I believed it, and then today I'm playing a video game down in my living room where I play, and my iPad gets a notification. Eagles fire head coach Doug Pederson. I'm like, is there a way to check if this is real or not? Because once
Yeah.
you see something and you find out it's a hoax.
Yeah, you don't believe it. It's
You
a
get a
boy who
little
cry wolf. Hey, I hear you, my guy. Hey, shout out to you, Jude. Like I said, we got to wait and see what happens. Listen, I grew up in the Andy Reid era. I actually became a fan when I was about 8 or 9. So Reid was just getting started with McNabb. We knew we had to let Reid go too, but it still hurt me as well.
That's how my dad was. He started to watch football in, I think, 85.
That's a little bit before my time, though. I'm around 97, 98.
2 quick questions.
All right.
One, I've been watching you for a long, long time, since the beginning of the Eagles season. And I want to say, keep up the hard work. I love your Sixers play-by-play. They're definitely my favorite. And one more thing. One, do you mind saying what time you're starting the Sixers live play-by-play?
7:15.
Okay, because I love them. And one more thing about this whole Eagles thing. I remember after they won the Super Bowl, they had the game against the Falcons, week 1. It was Thursday Night Football, and they ran a version of the Philly special. I think it might like when the running back hiked it and they pitched it to the tight end, he ran with it. And I remember it was so poorly. I remember this. It was so poorly played. It was. I think, a loss of 6 or 7. They have such a
Yeah.
poorly designed play. Like they were better off throwing it to Nick Foles at that point because we have Carson back with his ACL.
Hey, I hear you, my guy. But yeah, so I got to get some stuff done before I can get to this player play. Shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through, Jude.
I'll be tuning in for the play-by-play.
All right, peace. All right. Shout out to Mark. Junior said we need a bold GM and a strategic head coach. I agree. Got to make a move to get a strategic head coach. The bold GM. Now that is going to be hard because Howie Roseman is just dug in to Jeff Lurie, which I don't agree, but it is what it is. Carrie, come on, Carrie, you got kids. Listen, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got to get them all from the old to the young. But hey, shout out to my guy Eagles from New Jersey. What's going on, my guy?
Yo, what's up, Billy Mike? How you been, man?
Hey, hanging in there. How you feel about this breaking news?
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see it till 2 hours later after the news broke. I was happy, but still not satisfied. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, because you were hoping that there would be another article underneath it that said Howie Roseman too.
I feel like it was time for Doug to go because the spark's just not there with him anymore. It was there, like his rookie year, then the Super Bowl, but it's just not there anymore.
I hear you. To me, it comes down to, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say Doug's not going to be a good coach wherever he goes. I do believe he's going to be able to make stuff happen. I just believe it was the time. And again, it's mainly because of Howie. I do believe Howie should have been fired first and giving Doug at least one more chance with the OC. But if you told me that Howie's going to dig his claws in, then he had to go. Doug, listen, as much as I want to say we didn't give Doug a fair chance because Howie overruled Doug in certain situations. Things he didn't overrule him in was play calling, situational football, how he mismanaged press conferences and games and situations, and just the whole year that Doug had, and a little bit of regression throughout the year. And then the fact that Jeff Lurie gives you a chance to make it all good, and you legitly throw that staff. If that was 100% reported right, he wanted them.
That staff was horrendous. Press Taylor's OC. Oh nah, Lurie's not letting that slide.
Yeah, and like Brink said, like 301 said, I'm glad Doug is fired, but you keeping Howie's 1 step forward, 2 step backwards. I agree 100%. But at the end of the day, I agree when it comes to Doug, you have to look at it like, listen, you could tell Jeff Lurie wanted to keep Doug. So we were almost going to come back and run it back with the same exact thing. Because if Lurie don't want to keep Doug, he fires him off the rip. For the simple fact, he gave him another interview and said, present me something I can go with. Give me some innovating staff that you want to bring from the outside in. He's like, nah, I got Press Taylor, quarterback coach to OC. Andrew Bryner, passing game analyst to quarterback coach. And my guy, he said, Matt Burke from D-line coach to defensive coordinator. And if you don't want that, we can go shout out and get somebody outside. But we're going to get Corey Underlin, the guy we let go as a DB coach, as a defensive coordinator who has the Lions defense ranked 32nd in the NFL.
You just got to laugh sometimes to get away from the pain of reality.
I agree 100%, my guy.
Wait, who do you think we should hire, though? In my opinion, I think Joe Brady, because I don't want no one from the Andy Reid tree no more. Doug's just like, cut that off for me.
Yeah, listen, if in my dream scenario, it starts with what Mark just said. Let Howie control the money and John Dorsey control personnel. That would be the dream start. If that can happen, listen, Jeff Lurie is like, listen, Howie, you've been around for 20 plus years. We love you, but your draft. And again, this is my dream scenario because I heard from people coming back in from the press conferences. That's not what happened. Pretty much said, oh, they defended Howie for every bad thing he did. So that's disgusting to hear. But John Dorsey personnel, Howie Roseman money. He takes a step back. We bring in a coach that we allow to run it his way. Succeed or fail, we're going to do it his way. I would look at the 2 top candidates right now are Eric Bieniemy and Joe Brady. These are 2 guys that people are talking about. Joe Brady assistant of the Carolina Panthers. You can say what you want about that offense. I'm not the biggest Bridgewater fan, but what he was able to do with the passing game with DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson.
But that offense was pretty good this year.
Yeah, I mean, they put up points. They just got beat a lot. You know what I mean? They lost, but they still put up points. And so, again, we're talking about a guy who comes in, again, Joe Brady as a head coach. I don't know. You're still taking a little risk, but he's still a new young mind. You know,
Look what the Rams did with Sean McVay. Sometimes you got to take the chance.
Correct. You see the Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahans, the up and coming young head coaches. But it's just at the end of the day, if you're going to let Howie still keep his fingerprints on personnel and stuff, then it's not going to really work out.
You got to fire Howie. If we fired Howie, I would jump out my house, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because I was impressed about getting Doug fired. I still wanted him gone, but I want Howie gone. Too many years of him missing on drafts and personnel. He could be Lurie's limo driver, like Philly 500.
Hey, yeah, shout out to that. But hey, man, I appreciate you 100%. I'm gonna be getting up out of here very soon. Shout out to you. Appreciate you for hanging in there. And hey, we gotta wait and see what we do.
Lurie might pull the trigger. You never know.
You already know. Be easy, my guy. All right, listen, we got one more guy in here. We gonna get him in. Young boy, what's going on? Eagle #1 fan, how you feeling? I got to go real soon, but give me your quick take on Doug Pederson.
Doug Pederson, he was a pretty good coach, but like we kind of needed someone else because he's been with us for so many years, and I think we needed to start a new way, see if we could get a better coach and do better. And yeah, that's what I think.
Hey, I agree. I think it was inevitable that Doug was going to be fired because of the bad blood between Howie and him. Hopefully we don't get that with the new coach. I'm just looking for change. I'm looking for something new. I'm looking to get either Jalen Hurts growing or Carson Wentz back to where we can feel confident in him.
Yeah, I feel like Jalen Hurts is gonna do way better next year because with our new coach, I feel like he's gonna get better plays in and just be better.
Hey, yeah, and again, I just want to start seeing the injuries go down, the team overall morale just get back up, and we start doing what we need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, so do you have a preference for head coach? It's early, but if you have somebody on your mind, let me know before we get up out of here.
I kind of don't know anyone because it's really hard to pick because there's a lot
of coaches.
I don't know who to pick.
Hey, it's okay. Like I said, this happened only a couple hours ago. We're going to have a couple days, a couple weeks to think about it. We'll be doing more live streams, call-ins, things of that sort. And for those who are in the chat now, shout out to you guys. Make sure you smash that like button. If you haven't done it, it's easy. It's free. It don't cost a thing. And subscribe if you're new. We do live call-ins at least once a week. So next time, if you're in the chat, you want to get in here, I normally put the link in the description. You click it. You can talk with your mic and your camera or just your mic. Shout out to you guys. Eagles #1 fan in the building. Let's go. We'll see you on the next one, my guy.
All right. See ya. Bye.
Peace. All right. Joe Brady, head coach / offensive coordinator, and Jim Leonard for defensive coordinator. Hey, might be a recipe for success. Nobody's gonna wait to deal with Howie's Messi's butt. I hear you. Now all the pressure is on Carson now. It definitely is. I need coaches that develop players. Dougie P and Jim Schwartz never develop players. I hear you. FNO says Carson has all the potential in the world. He needs to be our quarterback. We need less injuries and more playmakers at receiver, and we will shine. Dude's a stud. Dude's a stud. We've all seen it. Hey, shout out to you, my guy. I was here the whole stream. Shout out to the world of Paul. Like I said, smash the like button if you're new. I mean, you know what to do. Philly Mike, I gotta go because my phone's on 6%. Hey, shout out to you, my guy. We about to get off in like 5 seconds. Jeff won't fire Howie. Because they're both Jewish. I don't know about that, but I know they do share a lot of stuff in common. Lawrence Talley, what's going on with you, my guy? A channel member in the building. Tell Doug to take Press Taylor with them. Listen, new staff comes in. There's no way. New staff that comes in. There's no way they're going to allow Press to stay on there. Laurie said he has faith that Roseman can build a dominant football team again. there's a disconnect because I felt like we were never dominant. It was Carson's MVP play that gave us the resemblance of elite. It's interesting. That's hyping up Carson and also hyping up Howie. But where's the proof? You know what I mean? What makes me think that? Again, I believe Carson Wentz was dominant, but we saw Nick Foles come in and do the same thing with the offense too. So I do believe Howie built a pretty dominant team that year, but we didn't build it the traditional way with draft picks. We got a piece. We not just trades, but LeGarrette Blount, Chris Long, Patrick Robertson, Jay Ajayi, Alshon Jeffrey, Torrey Smith. These are all guys we signed or traded for to get us where we needed to be. So, hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, we got $1.26 still in here. We are on 2 hours and 10 minutes. My wife is going to kill me. She's going to kill me today. With all that being said, I got to go. We will be doing more videos. Listen, turn post notifications on so you don't miss when I drop a video. Again, I dropped a video at 8 o'clock in the morning predicting that Doug was going to be fired for the exact reasons we all talked about. Check it out if you want still. But at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody in the chat. Until next time, you guys know what time it is. We out.